Hello and welcome to the Easter Egg Hunter, a series covering the very best video game Easter eggs, secrets and facts. Okay, so for this installment we are checking out game over screens that go above and beyond the simple two words we are all too used to. And I've picked out some of the most explosive, disturbing, cruel, bloody, memorable and most amusing to ever grace our screens. So where do we start? Well, how about a nice friendly game of Theme Park, developed by Bullfrog and Electronic Arts, a title where you try to pleasure your customers by giving them the best value, enjoyment and ultimate satisfaction, plus grow your brand to become the greatest. But if it goes belly up and you go completely bankrupt, you are left with the following message: classic deft tones, plus your character can be seen committing suicide by leaping out of a window in the reflection of a family photo. While everything after this scene will be more elaborate, bigger and more extensive, sometimes all it really needs is just a black screen and a few simple words for the game to tell you that you have well and truly screwed up, like in this classic and famous Game Over from Friday the 13th on the NES. During the 90s, Capcom had a reputation for producing some of the most recognisable and violent looking game overs. And here comes the first that features in Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, a 1993 arcade beat 'em up following a bunch of vigilantes as they try and attempt to take down the Black Marketeers, and in failure to do so, you were greeted by Vice and the first boss of the game for 20 threatening seconds. And yeah, as I mentioned, here comes another set of deadly continue screens, as in Final Fight both Cody and Hager are captured and tied up by the street gang Mad Gear after losing all your lives. And as you'll see, things can come to a rather explosive end if you don't continue. The same goes for Final Fight 2, where you can drown, or if you like, why not become impaled by a bed of spikes in the third installment. From the cruel scenes you can actually do something about, unless you like to watch your characters succumb to a painful death, to the shots where you can't do anything about and all you can do is witness your hero become someone else's lunch, as here's just one of the many scenes from Resident Evil 2. On a much lighter note, and just for a brief period, let's check out these two arcade races, Daytona USA and Sega Rally, where the developers produced two game overs with a sense of joy as if it was a good thing to lose. So let's start off with Daytona's, which can even be produced to the player for coming first, and is probably one of the only game overs to ever do so.
You placed 14th.
And I know many of you have probably been expecting to see this one, so here comes that classic game over, which I'm sure will be embedded in your head for the rest of the day. Then in 1998, when Metal Gear came to the PlayStation, it was details such as the vast array of game overs that helped make the game unforgettable. They brought atmosphere, plus a real sense of how much Snake's colleagues really cared for him after he was killed. Just take Mei Ling's recording, for example. Then there's Sonic, who doesn't seem to care about you or himself for that matter, as by leaving our super speedy spiky Sonic idle for 3 minutes exactly in Sonic CD for the Mega CD, he will leap to his death, giving you an instant game over. But if you happen to be playing the American version, the scene is played out by this disturbing music.
I'm out of here!
Speaking of characters that seem to like killing themselves, here's The Lion King 5, and yes, you did hear me right, as this is an NES bootleg which has 3 rather disturbing game overs and 1 for each character, including Simba's. It's something I've never seen before and is an image which will be burned in my mind forever. The Mortal Kombat series has always been about kicking your opponent's butt and finishing them off with a glorified blood-curdling move, and is one of the main features and attractions. And for the 97 installment, Mortal Kombat 4, you can enjoy watching your character hurtling towards their death, unless of course you decide to continue, that is. The moon in Zelda Majora's Mask bears down on Termina and moves ever closer with every passing second. The apocalypse is coming, or if you can help it. It is one of the more elaborate game overs within the Zelda series, or in any Nintendo game for that matter, if you allow it to crash into the clock tower at 6 AM on the final day. And I can't help but feel a real sense of guilt as everyone is killed with the moon's destructive force. With Conkers Bad Fur Day developed by Rare, you really wouldn't expect anything other than a harsh and cold-blooded end for the character, since this title is designed for mature audiences and is home to a wealth of violence, sex, drugs and alcohol, swearing and so forth. And depending on whether Conker drowns, dies in one piece, or several in this case, will result in slightly different game overs.
Have you got him this time?
Kind of, boss. A bit soggy, though.
So, did you get him?
Yes, we got him. A bit messy, though.
Our last continued countdown shot in this episode is probably one of the more terrifying, especially for our main protagonist in Ninja Gaiden Shadow Warriors, who succumbs to an extreme torture as a circular saw moves ever closer to ripping his insides outside. And to finish, here's a hard-hitting cinematic scene from XCOM Enemy Unknown on the PlayStation 1, which is a very dark and grim setting played out after pointless negotiations with the aliens. So actually we haven't finished, as here comes one final game over from Happy Soft's Hong Kong 97, which will come very quickly since it only takes one bullet to die, where you're greeted by the words "Chin is dead" or "Dead Chin" that are splattered across a security camera image from 1992, featuring the corpse of a man which some say is a Polish boxer, and whether that is true or not, this has to be one of the most disturbing game overs ever. So I really hoped you enjoyed the video, and don't forget you can always follow the channel on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter, and if you haven't quite had enough of me for today, then here are several videos to watch which are all available on mobile devices.